All right, so this last topic here, I am going to share my thoughts on the backlash per se of the opening ceremony of this year's Olympics, the 2024 Olympics. I haven't seen, and trust me, I looked all over for this video. For some reason, I can't find it. Um, and the videos, like parts of the video that I can view, are on other people's videos, and they're stopping, they're pausing, and they're ranting and talking about it. And I don't want to share someone else's video. The closest I got to it, which let me share the screen, because there's a couple things I want y'all to see, honestly. Um, yeah. So we're on here. I'm gonna read a quote per se. But what I really want you to see is here. So I was watching, this is the closest to like the actual video of this performance or this scene that I can see in its totality here. Um, because like I said, everyone that I've seen talk about it, um, they would play and pause the video. You couldn't see it clearly. Um, and I'm not trying to do all of that. At least with this, you can see this. And I'll play this video a little bit, and it's only 49 seconds. And for those who want to know, the Express Tribune, that is the channel where I'm getting this video from. Shout out to the Express Tribune for not having, you know, for breaking this down in 49 seconds. Um, that's that. That's the video here, per se. There's 16 people here. Now, for those who don't know what the hubbub is, let me block some of these folks real quick, especially over here. But for those who don't know what the hubbub is in regards to this here, um, this people are comparing this still that you see here, or behind me or so, before I blocked the child in this situation. But it's what you see is people are comparing this to the Last Supper. If you know anything about Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper, regarding Jesus Christ and the others that was involved, um, there was a total of 13 people within that situation. It was Jesus and then the 12 disciples. Okay. So a total of 13 people. Here, there's a total of 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's a total of 16 individuals here. So off the bat, for those who are going to scream, mockery or whatever, I'm trying to drag my damn camera down. All right. Got it. For those who are off the back going to scream, this is a mockery of Christianity. Now, the halo or whatever the case is, this lady here is supposed to be Jesus, the depiction of Jesus Christ, and all the other drags and stuff um, are supposed to be the disciples. Why have, if this was supposed to be like a straight up their version of it, why have 16 people up here instead of the 13? I mean, instead of the 12. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Mathematically, it doesn't make any sense. Just because you see a similarity, and I'm going to play this video because it'll show like a side by side of you know, why people are up in arms. Let's play this. Okay. So for the video watchers out there, obviously you see what is going on. Audio listeners, you just gonna have to, you know, click on the YouTube channel and see this video when it uploads. But you see the comparison. You see there's Jesus Christ, or the supposed Jesus Christ, because Jesus is not white, but you have Jesus in the middle, okay? Then you got disciples on the left of him, disciples on the right of him. You see there's a plate, there's plates, there's, all this other stuff, blase, blase, blah. Same ordeal at the bottom. You got supposedly Jesus is a fat white woman. All right, not a skinny white man this time, but a fat white woman. And then you got disciples on the left of her, disciples on the right, supposedly. But here, again, counting Jesus, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. A total of 13 people. Why? Because if we are not counting Jesus, it's a total of 12 people. Why? Because these are the 12 disciples, allegedly. But these are the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, the man in the middle, the alleged Jesus. Once again, there are now, if we go back before they do this comparison, we go back, you see it might be more than 16. Hold on. I don't remember seeing these two. Let's count though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's still 16. All right. It's still 16 people. Minus fat Jesus in the middle. And I'm not calling her a fat to insult her. I'm just saying that if this is supposedly Jesus, minus Jesus Christ, all right, fat white man Jesus, minus Jesus, it's still 15 people, not 13, not 12. So the math ain't mathing for those who are screaming this was a depiction of the Last Supper. Also, let's look in the middle. There's a tray in the middle. It's gonna sound fucked up. I'm gonna say it anyway. There's a tray in the middle. Or at least 3 trays. If it's not one big ass tray, there's 3 trays in the middle, and they're all in front of fat Jesus. Okay, they're all in front of her. Nobody else is eating. The 15 other people here, they're not eating. All these trays are in front of her. Whereas within the Da Vinci painting, everybody has a plate in front of them. Jesus had a plate in front of him. But Paul, all the other, say, disciples, Peter, and the rest of them niggas, they had plates in front of them. But you only have one tray or one plate or one cutlery setting in front of Jesus. All right? Nobody else is eating here. Again, the math ain't mathing, but also the depiction of it still does not really scream to me that they were going for the Last Supper. Now, one of the drag queens that was actually photoed, I don't know which one, in this, or took part in that performance, actually spoke out. He spoke to today.com. And let me just go on and read it. And hopefully I remember to leave this in the description box below. But it says, drag queen Nikki Doll responds to her role in controversial Olympics opening ceremony segment and the fight for representation. And this is a today.com exclusive, apparently. Written by Sean Hickey. Shout out to Sean Hickey. You know I like to give my fellow writers a shout out for their stuff. So I'm just going to start with this paragraph here. Nikki Doll, one of the drag performers in the segment and the host of Drag Race France, says she thought the scene made complete sense. When the opening ceremony's artistic director, Thomas Jolly, first approached her with the idea, they reached out to me and said that they wanted to incorporate part of the nightlife of French culture in the last number. It was all about music and celebration and a big banquet and a big party. She tells today.com in her first interview since the debacle. All right. Um I forgot why I opened this window for. I'm gonna say stop sharing for now. All right. Now, you heard Nikki speak. She said that this was supposed to be a celebration of French nightlife. This had nothing to do. Pretty much, she was saying this had nothing to do with the Last Supper, even though it was called the last. What was it? The last. Already forgetting what it was called because it's sounding real contradictory. Nikki. Um, the last number. That's what it, I guess it's called, or whatever the case is, right? Now, I don't think her explanation really did much justice, to be honest with you. Um, because now it seems to, if it the Last Supper, the last number, you know, it seemed as though y'all tried to take, and if you know anything about white liberals, well, let's not, well, yeah, you can say white liberals, but if you know anything about white LGBT, the white LGBT community, you know a lot of the LGBT community and as a wide audience in general. Not all of them, but the white ones, not all of them, but you know, the white liberal ones, a lot of their aesthetic is to um, be as anti they try to be very, I won't say anti-Christ, but they try to be very, very controversial um to in regards to um Christianity or just religion in general. It is their way of fighting back against religious folks or a religion that has demonized them. And their way of doing it oftentimes comes in the form of mockery or comes in a form of blatant disrespect to the moral codes or moral standings that these religions have. Um, Not saying that their lifestyle in general is all predicated on, and I don't care if I get banned for this shit, YouTube, whatever the fuck is, Rumble in the description box below. Like I said with the whole Donald Trump assassination video, y'all take this shit down on YouTube. I'm just putting it up on Rumble. It's really that damn simple. I am not pressed to continue doing a video podcast, by the way, or continue doing uploading on YouTube. It's there because I got all these subscribers, but there's other platforms. And then if any point in time I decide I don't want to do a YouTube, do the podcast video anymore, I'm just gonna stop doing it. Simple as that. So I'm not gonna hold my tongue and not say things that I feel like I gotta say. But with that being said, I truly do not feel that the entire drag community, LGBT community, they live their life to try to be blasphemous or try to attack um, Christianity or any other religion in general. People of the LGBT plus community just want to live and be happy and be free just as much as anybody else. That is the majority of the community. For anyone that thinks that everyone is like um the white gays out there, and not even all white gays are like that, but like you, the point that I'm making here is if you think the entire community is like that, then you're bugging. All right. um a lot of the backlash that's going on right now, because I think everybody is tripping. If it hasn't been, I don't. Let me make my points clear. I don't think these individuals are innocent. I think that performance, from what I've seen, again, it's hard for me to see like an entire clip, but people have shared. I was on Twitter doing my research, and people have shared clips and clips and clips of you know this performance and then other performances they did. I think, and it seems as though a lot of folks are just upset that it's drag queens doing it. Just keep it a buck. Drag queens, transgendered women, people of the LGBT community, gay men. It's just they're just upset that there's queer people at the Olympics on a grand stage. That's seems to be a lot of folks just don't want to admit that, but that's what the issue is. Their real issue is because you replace the queer folks who are doing this stuff with straight folks who are doing this. I think people will see the art in it, but I also do believe there is a level of let's troll and be disrespectful and try to be catty from these white gays because I know how they are. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying? And I got love for the LGBT community. So it's like when you have friends, loved ones, people, you hang around this community, you hang around these folks, you either live in this city, a state where you're going to interact with people like that of this community, you know how they are. And I know for a fact that there are people who are of this community, and this isn't even just applicable to people in Boston. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of places, but there are people of this community that would try this catty stuff and think that they can get away with it. They think people don't know it. They think that people outside of the LGBT community don't know when they are being shady toward them, when someone is being shady toward them, or being shady when someone of the community is being shady in general. Just because y'all are really good at it being shady doesn't mean that people outside of the LGBT community cannot see when you are being shady. So I'm not saying that all of the performances, the opening ceremony, or anything else that they did was definitely them being shady to the world and being shady to Christianity or anybody else's religion that has for centuries and for years outcasted the LGBT community. I'm not saying that that's what they were doing, but it would not surprise me because I do know gay folks, especially white gays. And y'all are the most shadiest motherfuckers out there. Y'all think y'all the most clever motherfuckers out there as well. And you truly think that, a lot of people um, do not know when they are being picked on by you all. And that's a thing. Anyone could get all upset and this, that, and the third. Oh, you're exposing this. How do you know this? It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can pretend like it's not, but it is the truth. That's no disrespect to y'all. Once again, I'm just keeping it real. I'm exposing the truth. All right. But that does not mean that you or the other people or the community, let me put it that way, the entire community should be dragged. No pun intended, but the entire community should be dragged simply because there are people of the community who will try that, who do try the whole a mockery of religion and the mockery of folks in general, and then pretend like, oh, you're only saying this because I'm a drag queen, or I'm transgender, or I'm gay, or I'm a lesbian, or I'm, you know, don't act like that's not a thing that y'all do, you know. And I love y'all. Like I said, I gotta state it again. I love y'all. But I keep it real with the people I love, and I see exactly what's going on, yo. There was other things about this situation that got people up in arms. Um, One thing that I found very concerning that I did not like was that there's a child here. Um, oh, I didn't even. I'm over here looking at the screen, and I didn't even share it for y'all. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay, there's a child right here. Now, here's my thing. You right here, Nikki Doll once again says this has nothing to do, pretty much says this has nothing to do with Jesus Christ and Christianity. It has everything to do with the celebration of nightlife here in France. And we ended off the celebration with a final banquet because that's what we do here. Okay? Be that as it may, I know for a fact within the LGBT community nightlife that y'all don't end off with a fucking banquet, not in traditional nightlife, unless you're celebrating someone's like birthday, maybe. And even then, or whatever, it's not necessarily ended off with a fucking banquet. Stop the lies. But I don't know how it is in France. But, and not saying that everyone of the LGBT community is a monolith, but if I'm judging it based off of the folks I know and the experiences I've seen personally, nightlife, whether you're straight or of the LGBT community, nightlife should not involve anybody younger than 21 years old. I don't like the fact that there's a kid here, and this is a kid. This is not a little person. This is an actual kid. I've seen the clear video clips of the performances. Again, a lot of the stuff you can find on Twitter, Pearl Clutch, the app where people pearl clutch and get mad, there. I saw this. This is a actual kid. This is not a person with Benjamin Button's disease. This is a kid. This is not a Gary Coleman disease having person or whatever the case is. This is a kid. This is a natural kid. I don't like the fact that they're here along with these drag queens or Jesus Christ, because if this is a depiction of nightlife in France, an LGBT community. Now, I don't know what the age of consent over there in French is, in France is. I don't know what the drinking age is. This kid look like they're 8 years old. That's the irony of them being the eighth person in this picture, is they look like they're about 8 years old, if not 10. Nonetheless, this kid, I don't know if 8, 10, anything other than 21 is the drinking age of France, of Paris, but France. My thing is, you got the bearded woman over here, thigh showing and everything. You got this one over here. Jesus Christ got the titties out. This is supposed to be all adult themed. Okay. Nightlife, whether it's gay nightlife, straight nightlife, should not involve anyone less than 21 years old. If you are below the drinking age, you should not enjoy nightlife with anyone who is above the drinking age, because nightlife anywhere, to my knowledge, and this is someone who don't even partake in that shit, but nightlife anywhere. Partake in it meaning that I don't like it and I don't go out my way every night to go out and drink and party and stuff. That's not what I do. Have I gone out nightlife with folks? Yeah. Have I drank? No. Even when I mean, I'm old enough now. I'll be 33 at the end of this month. But even when I was 21, right? And in my 20s, experiencing nightlife for the first time, right? I wasn't drinking, but I understood everyone here should be at least 21 years old. The youngest individual in this motherfucker right now should be 21. Not 8, not 10, not 20, not 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, or younger. Y'all want to escape this whole we're not groomers, we're not grooming kids, or we're not pedophiles. And I believe y'all. We're not all pedophiles, we're not all groomers, right? Don't lump us in. And I believe y'all. Trust me, I do. You want to escape that, but then you want to include children in a celebration, a supposed celebration, according to Nikki Doll once again. You want to include children in this celebration of nightlife. This, what Nikki Doll said, does not paint what you're trying to. No, no. Again, queer community, I absolutely love y'all, but y'all not fooling me. Y'all don't fool me when y'all try to be shady toward other folk. Y'all not fooling me with y'all. I'm just an innocent queer individual trying to live my life explanation when it contradicts a lot of the stuff you're saying. You claiming this is about the celebration of nightlife, and then you have a child here. Why is a child celebrating nightlife with you all? People are going to say, well, it's in France and their rules are different. I don't care if I sound like the ignorant American or the bravado American. No fucking child, no matter the gender or the sexual orientation of the people, the adults that the child is with, should not be involved in nightlife. Straight nightlife, gay nightlife. No fucking child should be involved in that. So for anybody that gotta say, so, oh, you only got a problem. How come? Would you say the same thing if it was a bunch of men up there with that little girl, a bunch of straight women up there? Yes, yes, I would. If a bunch of straight people up there and saying we're just celebrating nightlife in France. So why is there a kid here? Why is there a kid here? Nightlife in France for a kid should be they fucking sleep in a bed. And if they staying up all night, they should be building forts and shit in their room. That's not life for a kid. Not going out and parading and being half dressed or hanging out with half dressed motherfuckers. These are adults. They can do that. They can have their chest out, titties out, thighs out, all that, skin tight, everything. They can do that. I ain't got no problem with the way anybody, any grown adult is dressed up in here. I ain't got no problem with it. Do what you do, boo boo. But the kid, I got a major problem with. That's my biggest issue here. I have a major problem with that, especially as someone who's constantly defending the queer community and saying, listen, y'all need to stop saying that they are all like this. Yes, there's a sector of them that are fucking disgusting, but there's a sector of straight folks who are absolutely disgusting. And this problem of pedophilia is not a gay problem. It's not a straight problem. It's a fucking creep problem. And creeps come in all shapes and sizes, all nationalities, races, sexualities, religions. And we need to handle these cats. And we need to keep the kids away from them. But you don't support your claim of being innocent and not being a creep. when you allow kids to celebrate nightlife with you. And again, I'm not in France, never been to France, don't know France nightlife, but I am willing to bet. Let me stop sharing. I am willing to bet that France nightlife, whether gay or straight, is just as raunchy. Let's just use that word. I'm not using it in the tone of judgment. I'm using it in the sense of just describing the activity, right? It's just as, let me just use adult themed, okay? It's just as adult themed as it is here in America. Meaning kids should not be allowed. Meaning anyone who's below the age of drinking, because there's a lot of drinking within the nightlife, should not be allowed. Gay, straight, whatever. I take very much issue with a child being there if that is what you're claiming to celebrate. You were better off saying, yeah, we tried to depict the Last Supper and we screwed up. We're sorry. And we had a kid there because we try to introduce a kid to Jesus Christ. It would have been bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But that's better than saying, nah, we were just celebrating nightlife. So why's the kid there? Are you going to is there something you're saying here? Are you saying you want kids? It's okay for kids to be involved in nightlife? And for all the parents out there who see, these men, these women, these drag queens, these transgendered folks, and you're like, my child, I tried to watch this with my child. Once a fucking again, stop trying to get other people to raise your child. My biggest argument against folks who get upset at the queer community for dressing the way that they dress during pride events is when they say things like, oh, I have children and let's just say June, because June is Pride Month here in Boston. So, well, it's Pride Month everywhere, but June is usually where the celebration happens, okay? Let's just say June 6th. Let's just name that date, right? June 6th, the Pride Parade is happening. So happening on a specific side of town. Let's just say downtown. You want to do something with your kid, right? You want to have a family outing. You should know as an adult, as a grown ass person with a functioning brain or a brain. Let's not say it's functioning because clearly it's not, but it's a brain nonetheless. You're an adult. You should know what's going on around your city. And it's not like they're very secretive about pride, especially if you live again in a liberal city like Boston. I mean, they got posters everywhere leading up to the events. They got announcements. It's all over the news stations. It's social media. It's not like you are totally oblivious and then you could take your kid to downtown and you go and this dude got his dick and balls out or whatever, or you see a bearded lady, you know what I'm saying? And they got and it's confusing your child because it's a lady with a beard and titties and all that stuff. But yeah, and when they speak, they got the softest voice, but it's again, they got the roughest beard, you know? You should have known as an adult. Today, this time, this location, we gonna see that I'm liable to run into dick and balls that I don't want to see or bearded lady, right? My child is liable to see that. I don't want my child to see that and be exposed to that. And I don't want to be a productive parent and have to explain to them what that is. So if we're going to go out today, we're not going to downtown today. We're going to this other side of town, or we going here. We're going to stay home. We're going to do whatever. We're not going to that side of town, wherever it is that is going to have that pride parade. Telling them they got to tone themselves down because you don't want to be a parent to your child. It's not how you do it. You be a parent to your child and you keep them away from it if it's so damn much for you to explain, hey, listen, these people are different. This is how they celebrate. This is what they do. Now, come on, let's go. We're going to get ice cream. We're going here. We didn't come here to see this. We came here to do this, that, and the third. Well, what if my child says they want to stay? Who's the parent in this situation? Who's the adult in this situation? Your 8-year-old child or your 40-year-old ass? Who's the adult here? Y'all let y'all kids run a fucking muck and then you get upset when by age 13 they telling you what to do. If your child is like, I want to stay this, that, and the third, blah, 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 you tell them, you don't be abusive about it, but you tell them, you just remind them who the adult is, who the parent is, and it's up to you to decide what you all are going to do for the day. Or you could just take the advice that I gave you and not go to that side of town while the beautiful queer people are celebrating each other. It's really that simple. If I was a parent and I didn't want my child to see that stuff, that's how I would handle pride parades. If my child's like, I want to go outside today, I don't want to stay indoors. Can we go out and do something? Sure, but we're not going to downtown today. We're not going to whatever the side of the town this parade is today. We're going to this other place then. Be a fucking adult. You got a phone. You got access to the internet. Figure it out. Figure out activities outside of the Pride Parade on Pride Parade Day, in which you can take your child to stay away from all of that. If that's your thing. I'm bringing it back to the whole Olympics thing. If you are watching the Olympics with your child, now no one would have predicted that. I don't think anyone knew per se. I don't know. I'm not even watching the Olympics. Why? I don't give a fuck. That's why I'm not watching it. You know what I'm saying? But if you didn't know, I'm not gonna fault you for not knowing. Okay, not knowing about this drag show or whatever, right? Not gonna fault you for that. But now that you know, be a parent. Explain to your child, listen, these are, at the very least, you could just say these people are different from myself or your mother or your father and I. And they just do things differently. Or you can be as raw with it. They're blasphemy. Be as raw with it, be as PC with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, be as real with it, be like, these are drag queens. Drag queens are this. These are transgendered folks. Transgender folks are this. These are gay people. Gay people are this. This is what they do. It's your decision at the end of the day, but then shaming these people and making it seem as though these people are corrupting your child's mind. You want to uncorrupt your child's mind. How about you explain to them? You be the fucking parent. Don't tell other people to tone themselves down because you don't have the mental capacity to explain to your child what a different individual is. You might not understand it. You might not be like me who understand and love what that culture is, but you don't have to be someone like me. You don't have to be of the culture in general to fully understand it. I don't even fully understand the shit. You know what I'm saying? I understand what I do, and the rest, I don't judge it. I just take it for what it is. I don't understand it. If I wanted a deeper understanding, I would have already sought out a deeper understanding of that in the first place. But I'm comfortable at with the level of understanding that I have of their celebrations and why they express themselves with the way that they do. I'm comfortable enough with the knowledge that I have that I don't feel the need to, one, shame them, and two, I don't feel the need to want to dig deeper. Now, if one wants to do more education about it and dig and tell me things I don't already know, I welcome it because it's like I don't, it ain't no, it's not gonna hurt me at the end of the day. So sure. But what I don't do prior to me learning more about why they are, the way that they are as far as celebrating and their culture and whatever the case is, I didn't say, oh, I don't understand it. And because I don't understand it and I don't identify with it or I don't celebrate that way, then it's a problem and I hate it. No. Just like that, I was talking about earlier with Bitcoin, where a lot of people just don't understand cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and therefore they hate it, and they take the talking points from people who also don't understand it, or people who have a bias against it for their own reason and say things. There might be people out there who don't understand the drag scene, the queer community in general, and they, instead of admitting that they don't understand it, they get their knowledge in quotation marks about the community from people who hate the community. And do you think those people are going to say something nice or unbiased about that community? No, they're going to paint them out to be heathens, skeezers, hoes, demons, pedophiles, even. Now, again, having children in your little nightlife celebrations, I don't give a fuck what French's, uh, you know, or France's drinking age is. Having children in your nightlife celebration is not it. It doesn't do justice. And this is to anybody, not just the queer French folks, but or queer France folks or French folks, whatever. It's not just the queer folks in France, but all over the world. Having children within your nightlife celebrations. I'm gonna reiterate that again. I don't care who gets upset. It's the truth. It doesn't fight the we're not pedophiles accusations. Now I know better, but I get tired of defending y'all and then y'all do some bullshit like this. It's gonna come to a time where I'm like, if you ever want me to continue to defend y'all niggas, no, I'm probably not going to say that, but it's going to come to a time where I'm just going to start elevating more voices just to show y'all niggas that ain't going to happen either. Calm down. But I am tired of saying to folks, I'm still going to do it because it's right. It's the right thing to do, and it's defending people that, again, like I said, the entire community is not like this. There's an actual group of queer folks um, called Gays Against Groomers. I've mentioned them before. And they're against stuff like this, where they're against the queer community involving children within the activities that the gay community is known for, both within and without the community, within members and members outside of the community as well. And that's not a judgment of the community. Again, I love y'all, you know, but I love y'all and can also say y'all are fucking up over here. Y'all are fucking up when y'all saying things like we're not pedophiles, but why are you involved with children in these very adult themed situations? Y'all are fucking up when y'all claim to be innocent and not trying to poke the bear when I know for a fact all white gays love poking the bear. Literally and figuratively. I'm sorry. Some folks may have gotten that, some folks may have not. But no, like it's crazy. It's one of those situations where it's like, yo, like this situation here where I don't want to necessarily side with those, want completely side with those upset with this, but I also know, like I know the community, yo. Like I know, like this is someone who knows y'all. Like, come on now, I know y'all. I know y'all like doing shit like that. I know y'all like doing shit like mocking Christianity and mocking, other religions and stuff like that. Not saying that was the case here. I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom. No pun intended, but nah, we'll never get to the bottom of this situation here, yo, because it's a bunch of he say, she said, they said. The detractors are saying you are mocking the Last Supper, and then everyone else is saying no, we're not. You got people saying things like, and I thought I heard, I forgot where I got this from, but somebody actually did mention that they were saying a tribute to there once Nikki Doll, as I said that it was a celebration of nightlife. Got a problem with that because you brought a kid. That's the only problem I have with it. Nightlife of any kind, once again, I'm gonna repeat it once again, straight, gay or not, nightlife of any kind should not involve children. Children should be in bed at night. That's not like nightlife for children. Children should be in their bedrooms, in the safety of their bedrooms, either with their siblings, if they have siblings, enjoying things that kids do when it's nighttime. Stay up, build forts, stay up, try not to, fool their parents or try not to make a lot of noise so their parents think that they're asleep, but they're really up playing the game or something, or reading or whatever the case is, right? On their phones, because tablet babies out is on the iPad babies or whatever. But that's what kids should be doing at night. Not out here with Jesus Christ or Jesus Christ. Not out here with whoever this black lady is. Not out here with the bearded lady. Not out here with these dudes with their chest out. Not out here with somebody wearing like silver. You know what I'm saying? Y'all look good. Everybody look good over here. You know what I'm saying? But a kid should not be involved in all that. And I'm just gonna keep saying that. I don't care if that makes me less of an ally, less of you know of the community, and you not really real, you know you. No, no, I don't care about titles of anything, bro. Like it's common sense versus non-common sense with me, you know. Um, but has gone on long enough, and like I said, I don't really want to side with anybody here. I think everybody fucked up. Everybody's fucked up in this situation. There are people overreacting, and I know for a fact, I can't put a number on it, but I know for a fact there are people overreacting because it's a bunch of queer people on a grand stage. Hell, French folks was going crazy over the president picking a black woman to perform. I think her name was Aya Nakamura. Apparently, she's like a mixture of Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know who this is, but she's supposedly the biggest pop star in France, and they got a problem with that. So racism, and homophobe queer phobia No matter how widely accepted it seems as though Black people and queer people are becoming within the world, when you put them on a grand stage like the Olympics or just any other grand stage, folks are going to come out and show their hatred. But once again, you don't make it easy for yourself. And I'm not saying you got to do things that tone yourself down. Absolutely not. Again, do not tone yourself down. I love the queer community for how very much free and expressive they are. Do not tone yourself down. But don't involve children in your festivities. That's number one. Number two, do not pick fights and then say you're not picking a fight. Stand on it. Stand on it. You got the nice ass pumps you got on. Stand on it. Stand on it and say, yeah, we were poking the bear. Yeah, we're sending a statement here. We're making a mockery of this religion or of this religious figure. We're making a mockery of y'all niggas. Because for far too long, y'all was talking about us. Y'all use this religion to justify your hate for us. So now we throwing it back at you, and we're doing it our way. And what? Stand on it. I'd have much more respect if Nikki Doll and anybody else that's coming out and saying we weren't doing what we were doing, and I'm not accusing them of doing it, but I have much more respect if y'all just stood on it and said this is exactly what's happening here, instead of being the shady white gays that y'all are. Clearly do shit out of shade and then say we're not throwing shade. Yeah, man, it's been on long enough. And this might be another situation where I give y'all 2 episodes per week because it might go on long. Anyways, it's been another episode of the Ernest Thoughts podcast with your host, Ernest, or You Love Ernest. Check out the links in the description box below. And yeah, subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to this. Shout out to everybody who's been subscribing on all the platforms, especially on YouTube. Um, you know, as in depth as Spotify is now with letting people know about the numbers of their podcast. They don't notify us per se when we get a new subscriber to the podcast, and neither do the other platforms where you can listen to this podcast. So if you have been subscribing on the other platforms, I do appreciate you. Please don't don't think that I'm favoring YouTube over y'all. It's just YouTube actually notifies you when you get a new subscriber, whereas the other platforms they don't. So to my knowledge, at least they don't, because I've never gotten a notification. They'll tell you the number of subscribers, but they don't necessarily tell you who did it. Okay, or who is subscribed. All you get is the number and the countries and the age range and the gender demographic and the race demographic as well, of who your subscribers or listeners are. So just keep that in mind before you try to assume I only care about YouTube subscribers when I thank them for just subscribing. No, I thank all my subscribers. All right. Thank y'all. Rate, like, share, comment, subscribe wherever. And yeah, be free, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? But don't be a pedophile if that's what being yourself is. You a sick bitch. Anyways, stay black if you are black, stay beautiful. Black lives matter. LGBTQIA plus lives matter. Black women matter, black men matter. Vote for issues that you care about. Not vote for race, not vote for political parties, vote for issues that you care about. It's gonna be the last time I say that for a while. If that offends you, if that is not how you want to do things, by all means, don't do things by that book. But don't try to convince me to do things by your book, because your book is dumb. And I'm going to burn it. All right? Later.